your own personal mojo, Doc.
Give me that.
Sure, how do you want it? Broken leg?
Ah!
Yeah?
Ah!
Tell me you died, John. Your choice.
Child's Play wasn't just another 80s horror flick. It was the moment a smiling children's toy turned into one of cinema's deadliest icons. At one point, the film was almost released under the title Batteries Not Included, a name that could have buried Chucky before he was born. But behind that familiar doll, the production nearly collapsed. The title almost got stolen, and angry parents demanded the movie be banned. These are 10 creepiest facts about Child's Play. And hidden in them is the shocking truth that Chucky's first voice wasn't even Brad Dourif. Number 1. The title that almost doomed the film. Before the world knew the name Child's Play, the movie went through a chaotic title war. At first it was called Batteries Not Included, until the filmmakers realized Steven Spielberg was already producing a family sci-fi film with the exact same title. Then came another idea, Blood Buddy. In that draft, Chucky came alive when Andy's blood mixed with the doll's fake blood pack. Finally, the studio landed on Child's Play, a phrase innocent on the surface but sinister when paired with the plot. The irony is that there was already a 1972 film with the same name, but the crew gambled that no one would remember it. That gamble paid off, and the name Child's Play became horror history. Number 2. Deleted scenes that changed everything. The first cut of Child's Play ran 2 hours long, nearly half an hour more than what audiences saw. Producer David Kirshner wanted less Chucky on screen to keep the mystery alive. Like Jaws, director Tom Holland disagreed, and their clash led to entire scenes being scrapped. One deleted subplot had Chucky befriending and manipulating a little girl named Mona, while another showed Andy's father's death being explained in detail. The alternate ending was even stranger. Andy strapping a knife to a remote control car and stabbing Chucky before spraying him with chemicals from a toy water pistol, melting the doll into sludge. Number 3. When parents tried to ban Chucky, by the time Child's Play hit theaters in 1988, parent groups were outraged. They claimed the film encouraged kids to be violent even though Andy was clearly innocent. Protests erupted outside studio gates, demanding the movie be pulled. Some families even banned the VHS from their homes, as if the tape itself was cursed. Unlike gore-filled slashers, this movie touched something personal, a toy every child might own. Number 4. The creepy origins that never made it. The Chucky we know was born through Voodoo, but that wasn't always the plan. One draft had Andy's blood mixing with the doll's, creating a supernatural bond. Another imagined Charles Lee Ray entering the doll after an electric chair execution. The darkest version suggested Andy himself was the killer, with the doll as a symbol of his rage. That would have made the film a psychological mystery, but we'd have lost Chucky's twisted humor. Voodoo gave the film a clear villain, and fans got the wisecracking killer doll that became iconic. Number 5. The doll with borrowed eyes. Chucky's designer Kevin Yagher had already worked on Freddy Krueger and later created the Crypt Keeper. Look closely, and you'll notice Chucky and the Crypt Keeper share the same set of eyes. It was a cost-saving trick, but knowing the doll stares at you with recycled undead eyes only makes him creepier. Off-screen, Yagher married Catherine Hicks, who played Andy's mom in the film, meaning the doll's creator and his on-screen mother became a real-life couple. Number 6. The wrong voice inside the doll. Before Brad Dourif's sinister laugh defined Chucky, another voice was tested. Actress Jessica Walter recorded lines with electronic distortion to mimic toy voice chips. Early cuts with her voice didn't land. It sounded too odd and lacked menace. Test audiences rejected it, and luckily Dourif returned to re-record everything. His sarcastic yet sadistic tone gave Chucky his unforgettable personality. Without him, the killer doll might have sounded more like a broken toy than a horror icon. Number 7. 11 puppeteers, and a burned stuntman. Bringing Chucky to life wasn't easy. The doll needed 11 puppeteers, each controlling a different part: eyes, mouth, arms, even the tilt of his head. For action shots, actors wore Chucky suits. John Franklin, from Children of the Corn, was set on fire and badly injured during a stunt. Ed Gale, who once played Howard the Duck, also donned the costume for dangerous scenes. On screen, it looked seamless, but behind the camera, performers risked real pain to make Chucky feel alive. Number 8. The directors who said no. Before Tom Holland took the job, Child's Play almost landed in very different hands. The first choice was William Friedkin, the director of The Exorcist, who already had a reputation for pushing audiences to their limit. Then the studio approached Irvin Kershner, the man behind The Empire Strikes Back. Either director could have steered the movie into completely different territory, darker, or maybe even more epic. But both passed, and the project finally went to Holland, fresh off his success with Fright Night. His horror comedy instincts shaped Child's Play into the mix of scares and camp we recognize today. Without that decision, Chucky might have been less playful and maybe less memorable. Number 9. The Chucky we nearly got. Brad Dourif's voice and unhinged energy made Chucky unforgettable, but early on the role nearly went to someone else. Actor John Lithgow was seriously considered to voice and play Charles Lee Ray. Lithgow had a history of sinister characters and could have brought a chilling edge, but it would have been a very different doll. Even Chucky's look wasn't locked. His design shifted through multiple drafts before landing on the freckled, red-haired face we know. In another timeline, horror fans might remember a completely different Chucky, with a different voice and appearance. Instead, Holland insisted on Dourif, who he had worked with before, and that decision gave Chucky the twisted charm that became his trademark. Number 10. The success that almost ended the franchise. Child's Play shocked the box office, pulling in over $44 million on a budget under $13 million. It became United Artists' second biggest film of 1988, just behind Rain Man. Critics praised its mix of scares and satire, and fans wanted more. But the studio's new owners weren't interested in horror and sold the rights to Universal. That's why the original stayed with MGM, while all sequels became Universal Productions. Ironically, the studio that birthed Chucky abandoned him, but Universal proved the doll still had deadly potential, turning Child's Play into one of the most enduring killer doll franchises ever. Child's Play took something innocent, a child's toy, and twisted it into nightmare fuel. From scrap titles and alternate origins to puppeteers risking injury and a voice swap that nearly ruined the character. The story behind Chucky is just as bizarre as what we saw on screen. What began as a satire of toy marketing grew into a cult franchise that still haunts pop culture. It proves that even the friendliest objects can hide darkness, and sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones already sitting in your bedroom. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy movie facts.